Hi, hello, how are we doing? Let me just check again that we're all good on Facebook, because you know technology and how it works. And I know Mercury retrograde is over, but we're still in the shadow phase, so that might mean technology messes up, like the amount of delays I got trying to get back to New Zealand. Okay, so before we get started, I want to show you my mug. This is a giant ass mug, but it is keeping me warm from the cold of New Zealand right now. If you're in the Girls Love Travel Facebook group, there's like a ton of people who have come to New Zealand and they're like, it's amazing, it's like a white Christmas but in the middle of the year, and we're all like, yeah, it's not that amazing, it's cold, try living in it. Yeah. So I have a lot to talk to you about today. Oh my gosh, I really need to like make sure that I have my page set up before I even start my live so I can check this a lot quicker. But I'm pretty sure it's working. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Okay. Dun, 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 dun. It's the final countdown. Oh, we got 2 people on. Cool. Hi. Hello. Once this loads, then I can start talking to you. But it's alright, we'll wait for some people to come on. Oh, got 3 now. Cool. Alright, so it looks like we are live on the right page. I almost went live on the wrong page before, so imagine if I went live on my profile page. That would have been weird. Okay, cool. Sweet. We're good. We're good to go. Okay, so I have a lot to talk to you about today. A lot happened last night. Wow. A lot. You know how I was talking about yesterday how I got you guys to commit to like one thing, just one thing for the next 30 days to improve your money situation, to improve your money mindset, to improve your financial empowerment. Do one thing a day. And a lot of you were like doing meditation. Some of you are doing my money rituals course. Some of you are doing my abundant as fuck course. A lot of you are doing other things like exercise and things around the house. Like that's fine, absolutely fine if it helps you feel more abundant. But yeah, committing to one thing every day. And so my mom, she's super into Joe Dispenza. If you don't know who Joe Dispenza is, he's like, he would be the science guy behind, who explains like how the law of attraction, how money mindset stuff, well, not just money mindset, but like how all of that works from a scientific point of view. And it makes a lot of sense, and he can back everything up with proof. With what he does. And so to like condense his story down really small, basically he broke his back like back in the 80s. He was in a horrific cycling accident and he couldn't walk, and the doctors told him he's not going to ever be able to walk again. He's going to be like in this cast and have all these metal rods in his back. And he was like, oh hell no, I'm not doing that, like no way. And so he spent, like, because he couldn't do anything, he was like literally lying on his front because he couldn't lie on his back because it was broken. He spent all his time in hospital mentally piecing his spine back together, because before that he was a chiropractor, so he kind of knew like what the vertebrae would it be of the spine is. And so he would visualize his spine mending itself. And he said it took him 6 weeks to be able to focus on it without getting distracted, because his mind would just veer off, you know, and we know it all the time, like when we're trying to concentrate on something and then a minute later you're like off thinking about something totally unrelated to whatever you were trying to focus on, and you didn't even notice that you went off, like that you just moved off into a different topic. So for 6 weeks he had to train himself just to concentrate, just to go through the whole series of piecing every little piece of spine, vertebrae, back together. It took 6 weeks. Within 3 months, he walked out of that hospital. And so I was watching an interview with him last night, because my mum is super into him. She's been following him for a year and does all his meditations. And it was an interview with him and Drama. If you know who Drama is, he was on like Rob Dyrdek's Fantasy Factory. And man, he spoke some truth. Like, there were some scientific terms that was like over my head, but the core of it is exactly what I teach. It's exactly what all spiritual law of attraction teachers teach. Like, it's essentially the same thing, but we're just coming at it from different angles, right? Different ways to believe. Me personally, I like going the law of attraction route because I like things to be kind of magical and exciting and fun. Science bores the shit out of me, so I find it hard to listen, like to be open and receptive to it, but it makes sense to me. And so he was talking about when you're trying to essentially visualize yourself into the future that you want, into the desires that you want. Most people, what happens is when you're visualizing and you're thinking of your future and you're thinking of the things that you want, whether it's a house or a relationship or a family, babies, happy friendships, happy relationships, a big career, or moving up the ladder in your career, or just having more hobbies or travel, whatever it is. He said the problem with most people is that they visualize it, right? So they wake up in the morning and they're like, okay, I'm going to do my morning meditation. I'm going to do my morning visualization. And they feel those feelings and they get into a good place and they feel good. And then they go to work and they're pissed. They're angry that they're at work. A colleague comes up to them and, I don't know, talks to them disrespectfully or just puts them in a bad mood. Or a customer does the same thing. Like, things throw you off throughout your day. And so what happens is that all the work that you've done in the morning of feeling good is kind of overshadowed because you've gone straight back into feeling how you feel on a regular daily basis. And what he says is that basically how you feel now, you feel the same feelings. You're living in the past because you feel the same now as you did last week, as you did the month before that, as you did the year before that, probably. And so what people are doing, like when they're doing visualization in the morning and they're feeling good, and then they go to their work or go about their day, and then they revert back into not feeling good, back into the situation that they were in before they did the meditation or visualization, is they're not changing anything. That's why things aren't working. That's why people go, but I've been visualizing like every day for the last 6 months and nothing has changed. It's because you're predominantly living in the lack energy, in the past energy, in the old memories. And he explained it is because your brain is a record of the past, right? We don't have a record of the future yet. So we only know what we have experienced already. And the thing is, it's, even though it could be shitty or it could be average or it could be not what you want, that's familiar. It's far more familiar and far more safe and far more comfortable to project the past onto now than it is to think about the possibility of the future, because that's unknown and that's scary. So it's hard to think about that. It's hard to live in that energy when you have no experience of it. And another guy who I've seen speak before, Oren Harris, he says you can't perceive from a path you haven't taken yet, which is true. It is hard to perceive from a path you haven't taken yet. But that's what you do in visualization. And so there were two things I want to talk about that. One, the first thing I wanted to give as an example of how I remember it when I was working in my job. And I remember I remember it like it was yesterday. I hated my job. I loved the people I worked with. I could tolerate some colleagues. Some of them were just, I was not a fan of them. They were just too negative. But I just didn't want to be there. I didn't enjoy the work. The paperwork was mind-numbing. The amount of like health and safety and child protection and like stats and reports that you had to do, I was just like, this is mind-numbing work. I don't want to do this anymore. And I remember like I would do my visualizations in the morning. I would be in my car or on the train in the morning and I'd be thinking of this life that I wanted. I wanted to go and travel. I wanted to be able to live by my own schedule and do everything I wanted. And then I'd go to work and instantly be back in that shitty, annoyed vibe of like, oh my God, I don't want to be here. But then I was in enough pain that I moved my butt to work on my business, right? In enough pain that I was like, no, I can't do this anymore. I have to work for myself. I have to make this work. And so I worked my butt off while I was at a job, but I worked my butt off on my business and then quit within 6 months, like I said yesterday. But once I quit, there was like a danger period. Sorry if it's noisy, it's raining again. There was like, probably for the rest of the year actually, it was like a danger zone because I was still stuck in the old past thinking and the lack and the fear. And so I was bringing that into my business and I wasn't doing much about it from a mindset perspective. I was doing a lot of action business-wise, but I wasn't doing much to change my mindset about how I was thinking. And in past videos, I've talked about how I was stuck in an employee mindset. But all that means is I was stuck in my past mindset. And so I knew if I kept thinking that way, I was going to wind up having to look for a job again because I wasn't going to be able to make a difference in my life. Like, no matter how much I visualized, I was still predominantly in those old feelings of lack of doing things I don't want to do. And so what did I do? I forced myself to consume a shit ton of content on changing my mindset, from like podcasts to audiobooks to reading books to listening to motivational videos to like just anything I could think of to get my hands on to saturate my mind. In every single day I would do it. I would go out for walks like an hour at a time, maybe twice a day, and I would just put on my headphones and I would listen to an audiobook or I'd listen to a podcast, and I would just listen and let my mind soak in this information. And because I was doing that more than I was allowing myself to be in the fear and to live in the past and to be in my old mindset, shit started changing then, right? Right. And so this is what I wanted to, the second thing I wanted to talk to you about is like, how do you do it for yourself? Because I know that it's hard. I know that when you're in your situation, when you're in something you don't enjoy and you know you want better and you know you can make it happen, but you're just stuck. Like there's a gap between what you want and where you are. Oops, just spilled my damn coffee. You need to, when you do your visualization or whatever you're doing in the mornings, right? You need to then take that energy that you feel, the good feeling energy, the living in the energy of what you want, feeling the feelings of what you want, take it into your day, right? And I know it's hard because there are things that throw you off, but what you do is you use, you use anchors through your day. So maybe you do your visualization in the morning, or your meditation or gratitude or whatever it is that you like to do that works for you to manifest. You feel the feelings, you go to work, say you're at work for an hour, everything's good, and then someone comes in with the problem and it throws you off and you're like, okay, well now I have to go focus on that, but it's put me in a mood. After that, then anchor yourself back into that feeling of how you feel in your visualization. And keep doing that throughout your day, every day, and keep practicing it every day. That's the work, it's practice every day. And then what you'll find is that you're actually bringing your future closer and closer to you because you're starting to live in the energy of it every day, rather than once in the morning every day. You're like multiple times throughout the day, because it doesn't have to be like, people think you have to be in this amazing space all the time. It's not true. But you need to be at least 51%. So if you're feeling 51% in the energy of your future that you desire, you're drawing it to you. You're closing the gap between you. And when you feel the feelings of gratitude as well, Joe talks about this, gratitude is the most receptive energy you can be in, right? So when you are in a true grateful state, you have an energy field around you of 3 meters. So it's affecting the literal energy field around you when you feel grateful. So yeah, think on that. Yeah, and my mum has got me on to Joe, and a lot of people have been telling me about Joe for the last few months, and so I'm like, okay, I need to be like listening to his stuff. And it's good because if you're someone who's more of like a practical person and you want to hear more like concrete scientific proof about how this stuff works on an energy level, listen to Joe's stuff, because it's concrete, it's actual evidence. For me, I just like to talk about like the magical aspect of it all, right? Okay, so what else? What else? What else? Oh, okay, so there was a comment on yesterday's video from, I think her name was Amy, from Amy. And she said, she talked about feeling the feelings and how it was hard. Yeah, it's hard when you haven't felt like that ever, even though you want it bad. It's hard to feel like you're rich, or feel like a multimillionaire, or feel like a successful business person, or feel like sales are coming in every day when you haven't actually had that experience yet. And like Owen Harris says, you can't perceive from a place you haven't been yet. It's true to a point, but there's a way around it that I was actually explaining to my mum last night, how I do it. Because I think that's kind of right. Like, I have difficulty going straight into feeling the feelings of what it would feel like to have, you know, like sale after sale after sale after sale. Like, say 1997 comes in and then another 1997. Like, to go straight into like feeling that, it doesn't emit any kind of emotion in my heart. And it's all about energy, frequency, and emotion. If you're not feeling anything there, it's not, it ain't putting anything out into the universe. And so I was like, okay, well, how do you get into the feelings of money coming in, like getting specific to sales coming in and your bank account increasing and being able to buy like things that you want, whether it's a house or a car or a bag or just pretty things or crystals or tarot cards in my case. How do you get to that when you're not connecting through your heart? Here's how I do it. I think about how I would feel, or how I would want to feel, if I had already achieved what I want, right? If I was already a multimillionaire, if I was already a thought leader, if I already owned the house that I want that's on the beach, if I already had the car of my dreams, if I already had the relationship of my dreams, how would I feel in my body? And like I said yesterday, I would feel supported. I would feel taken care of. I would feel safe. I would feel provided for. I would feel like relief. I would feel like, oh my God, I can relax now. I would feel like there is this almost like almost like an energy field around me of protection, pure protection, that I am safe no matter what, that I am protected, that I am loved, that I'm nurtured, that I'm always provided for, that I'm always taken care of. The universe is literally like my dad, since I didn't get one, really, when you think about it. And so I thought about, that's how I would feel. And I started to feel those feelings of feeling supported, of feeling loved, of feeling taken care of. And that's like a primal need, right? So I got and tapped into the emotion of what I wanted to feel in my future, right? So I'm feeling what I want to feel in my future right now. And then when I feel those feelings, I'm moving into gratitude, because I'm like, thank you, universe. I feel taken care of already. I know you have my back. I know that no matter what, you have got me. You have always had me. Even when I didn't think you were there, you were always guiding me like a father in a way. You have always been protecting me, always providing for me. No matter what, things have always worked out. No matter what, thank you, thank you, thank you. And through that feeling, I can then take that feeling and start thinking about money coming in, like the practical stuff. Thinking of, okay, I just made a sale on Abundant as Fuck. Oh, cool. And I just made 2 sales on Paid by Pinterest. Oh my gosh. And another sale came in on my 10K month mindset program. Oh, wow. Someone just inquired about working with me one-on-one. Oh my God. Someone, like feeling that, because I already was in the state of feeling the feelings of what I want to feel in my future. But I came into it through an emotional aspect rather than going into the money first. But once you're in that state, once you feel how you want to feel, you can just go straight into the things you want to visualize, the things you want to manifest, essentially. You can go into the practical stuff, but you need to get into your heart first. You need to feel it in your heart before you think about the things you want to visualize. And so I want to share with you what happened with me in my visualization last night. It was amazing. So, let me just check, we're all good. Okay, so in my visualization last night, I was like, okay, I know the feelings I want to feel, so I'm going to go into feeling supported, feeling loved, feeling taken care of, and then I'll move into feeling what it's like to make sales and like have the money move into my bank account from Stripe and like be like transferring the money from PayPal into my account. I can move into it through that. And a thing that I do with visualization is I play music as well. I play theatrical music, and I do it because it helps me concentrate more because like of the beats of the song and whatever. But yeah, I play theatrical music because it seems to move me emotionally more than any other type of music does, right? And so I was playing these 3 songs and I was like, I'm visualizing being supported, being taken care of, and like having the life that I want. But then it was like shooting me further into my future. And it became more about my purpose and what I'm here to do. And I could see myself like in front of people on stage speaking and like sharing what they need to hear. I am spilling my coffee all over me. Hang on. And sharing with them what they need to hear. And I could see myself like, it was like so much bigger than I was visualizing, but that's where the music was sending me. And then I realized, because like music notes, right? They're frequencies, essentially. They're actual frequencies. So the type of music that I was playing, the notes in the songs were higher. They're like a higher, more elevated song, I guess you could say. It's like that kind of theatrical elevated music when you see someone like conquering, walking up Mount Everest or something. It's like that real triumphant kind of music. And so the notes, because they're in that high frequency, they were sending me to that high frequency as well. And so it suddenly became, I need to put this down. It suddenly, because I want to move my hands, it became so much bigger than what I was imagining. It was like the universe was like, girl, I know you think you want this, but I have so much more planned for you. And so it was, I could see far beyond what I'm trying to manifest now, like way beyond it. So much that I didn't even worry about the money. Like I wasn't even thinking about the money. And then there were moments where I was like, but shouldn't I be thinking, like visualizing and focusing on the money to bring it in? But my intuition kept saying no, because you are in your purpose. You already see the work that you're doing, and you can feel that money is no problem now because it's there. You're already a multi-millionaire. You're already making a shit ton of money. Like money is coming in everywhere. Like you do not have to worry at all. There is always money surrounding you. It's like a whirlwind around you. Like you've got collaborations coming in. You've got speaking gigs coming in. You're doing multi-million-dollar launches, and then you've got like products like physical and digital that sell on autopilot every day anyway. Like you are covered. You don't even need to think about money. You need to be on your purpose and what you're here to do. And I was so in it, and I was so emotional. I was crying in my freaking visualization. But it was like elevated. It was next level, and it felt amazing, right? And that's what I suggest you give a go, is try doing visualization with music, theatrical music, because I feel like the universe has far bigger plans for you than what you can even comprehend. Like all I was thinking of was like, okay, I'm here. I would like to get here. So let me just think of this, like getting there. But the universe is like, no, you're here. You're like way beyond here. So let me just put you in that vibe now. Let me help you live in that future now. So we just bring all this stuff quicker, because you got some work to do, girl. So I don't mind that at all. So if that helps at all in any way, use it and let me know. And then last but not least, to add to that, maybe you're a visual person. I just discovered Mind movies today. Like today, my mom showed me some Mind movies. And essentially they're kind of the same thing as the music, but it's like putting a visual to the music as well. And so what you do is you watch them, and it evokes feelings out of you of what you want, and it puts you in a state of what you want. So maybe if you're not good at visualizing, or maybe you're not good at scripting, maybe you're a visual person, watch the Mind movies. I'll give you I'll post like a few examples in the description for you so you can watch them. But yes, that is day 2. Day 2, that's what I have for you. If you enjoyed this live, I would love it if you could share with people, with your friends, anyone you think might get some value out of this. And also, what could your homework be today? Your homework, I'll put in a couple of links to some Mind movies. There's like a billionaire one, just sort of like a general life is amazing one, and maybe one other money one. And your homework is to watch it and then comment in the comments below what you think about it. And also share just any tips or gems that you got back from this live, okay? All right, thank you so much for watching. I will see you tomorrow for day 3.